Thanks, Wu, for setting up this Zoom invitations and coordinating the records and all documentation. And thanks, Utkarsh, for supporting the total session. And we actually, we have invited Dr. Santanu Gupta for this presentations, and thank Dr. Santanu for accepting our invitation and being a guest to present to the participants about the identification of wetland birds over here. And to all the participants, a short introduction about Dr. Santanu Gupta. He is right now working as a specialist in biodiversity aspects with WWF India. He has worked in SECON as well, and he is an expert in wetlands birds specifically. He did his PhDs and a lot of research works into this one. And we are glad that he's here to present us about the basics of wetland birds identification steps that we can actually use it for our own understanding, and we can also explore this opportunity in the nearby areas. And the main purpose of this particular workshop is part of the IUCN World Species Congress program. This is one of the satellite event we are conducting. And this is actually specially designed for the participants who are not into the conservation bubble. That means not into the conservation at any way. That doesn't matter whether you have seen the birds or you know anything about the birds, or you can point the birds or something. And this specific program is to that. And now I'm leaving the deck and the whole presentation to Dr. Shantanu. Dr. Shantanu, you can take forward from here.
Good evening, everyone. So today we will cover the following topics. Am I audible, Ragul?
Yes, Dr. Shantanu, you are audible.
Yeah. So today we cover these three topics like wetlands, the habitat of these water birds, the water birds identification, and a note on their conservation. So as we know that birds have this reptilian ancestry. Scientists believe that they could originate from the earliest known fossils as Archaeopteryx. It was the known fossil which linked the reptiles and birds. So now birds, globally globally is declining. As you can see that 12% of the birds and birds, as per the IUCN red list threatened status, it's threatened with extinction. And from India, it's around 1,346 bird species reported, out of which 201 is the water bird species. And these are the different IUCN red list threatened status of these birds globally. So now, what are the water birds? Water birds are different. Like as per the Ramsar Convention, all the birds which are ecologically dependent upon wetlands can be treated as water birds or waterfalls. But during the water bird population estimates, exclusively 32 water bird families were categorized as water bird population or as water birds. There are during the wetland water bird population estimate by 2004 populations of 871 bird species have been reported. And from India, the recent AWC 2020 reported 179 water birds and wetland dependent species. And this is the total number of water birds reported in that estimation from 19 states and union territories, covering the 143 wetlands. Now, water birds can be found in these types of habitats, which include like the inland wetlands, coastal wetlands, and inland wetlands. So these are the different habitat types. As per the water bird population estimates, these are the 32 families with their respective populations. And these include mainly the ducks, there is the family Anatidae, then rails, drakes, alleys, and gulls, terns, the herons, egrets, sandpipers. So these are the main waterbird species which can be found in different wetland habitat. Now, how can we group the waterbirds? So there are different criteria depending on shape and size, the wing shape, the beating of the flap, then habitat, different type of habitat, the feeding yield depending on the food sources, the migratory or the residence status, and the threat status. As you see, these are the different types of waterbirds under different families. Now, why we do the bird watching? So bird watching is the feathered view, and these are easy to watch. They are all around our all around us, and we need a very specialized equipments for watching this, like binoculars, street guides, notebook, and pen pencils. So some these easy equipments in our hand, we can watch more efficient. And these are the two very popular bird ID books, one from the Book of Indian Birds and Green Tendency. You can follow for bird watching and identification. Now, during bird watching, you have to be very patient and start with like common birds. You have multiple ID clues, different IDs and clues, and then you have to identify up to family group depending on the size, shape, color. Or you can also get help with some experienced bird watcher. Now, these are the few gears you need for effective bird observation and identification. Mostly, we use this 8XL40 binocular or this spotting scope binoculars, or you can, the large bird, you can easily identify with their eyes. How to identify a bird? So there are different criterions. You can easily look for the physical features like size, shape, colors, the behavior like call, bite, feeding, activity. Their habitat like forest, wetland, tree hole, river bank, or any other urban settlement. Then season like winter, summer, monsoon. So this will be the key criteria for observing these birds closely. Now here comes the different parts of a bird. When you are looking in the field, look for the crown section, the lobes, foreheads, neck, the throat, then the wings. You can check for this primary wing on the secondaries, as well as the tail. So different color, different bird species will have different coloration, different pattern, which can be recorded for a proper identification. Depending on shape and size, so sparrow, you can identify it as a sparrow, it's larger than the sparrow, or in as a robin, or it is falling in the shape of a crow or the goose. So this kind of size we can observe in the field. And shape, it's like it's different types like water birds like this, waders or the herons, egrets. So we have to check the coloration, in overall body, the face, the wings, tails, etc. You have to look for. Now, when comparing the sizes, these are the main identical species we have to compare, like sparrow, robin, crow. This would be the basic shapes of these birds in the field. And it will be like plus or minus, like it's larger than that or lesser than that.
Shantanu, sorry for the interruption. Yeah, one of the participants asked, your voice is not clear.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. There are some grains, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, maybe a bit louder could be fine.
Okay. So these are the physical features of the birds, which we have to tally in the field. And this is the different, in the landscape, you can find all these types of birds, which will be probably unknown to you, but you have to identify it depending on the keys and identification keys. Now, physical features will include this shape, like whether it is a tall or slender bird. It's a round or a dumpy kind of bird, or it's a neat or smooth kind of bird, like the ducks. So depending on the shape, it will be your primary conception about that bird. Now, for water birds, a different type of water birds will fall under this category. If you see, it's a stem, it's kind of snipe will look like this. The sandpiper, lapwings will look like this, and this, yeah.
Shantanu, sorry
Yeah,
for this. I think still participants are not very clear about the voice.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Now,
Is it audible?
yeah, it's audible now.
Okay. So these are the different types of water birds, like the egret, flamingo, cranes. So this will be, you have to tally the shape of the size of the identified birds
Yeah,
like this.
Shantanu, can you
Yeah,
go back to the previous slide, Doctor? And then can you just give an example of the birds and then the shapes it has been given, round and dummy, where it is, what term? So could be, I think, because that part was missed out of the voicing.
yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
So shape is like, if it's a like slender bird, like this herons or egrets, there will be the tall bird forms. And like this ducks, they will be like shorter and like some smooth kind of shape. So depending on this, we have to identify in the feed, like which shape it's falling. Now, these are the different shapes of water birds. And you can also identify some point, like features, like it's like long and pointed wings, like falcons, or these bird aviators will have the short rounded wings, or the virtuos, it will have the broad wings. So this will be just for your getting some concept over the overall shape of the bird. Now, wing shape will give you the more uh, more knowledge on that. Like pelicans, they will have the wings like this. The crane, the heron, they will have the wings like this pattern. This is the wing of the painted stork, little egret, and lapwing. And if you focus on the other bird species like this ducks and goose, like bar-headed goose, gadwall, so different types of birds will have different kind of wing pattern, their coloration. Am I audible, Rahul?
Yes, yes, audible.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Shantanu.
yeah. So physical features also will include these colors. So main different birds will have different coloration and different like plumage. Like this is the gray heron. This is the cormorant will look like this, and the gadwall, the duck species, it will look like this. Different colors may be shown in the flight. Sorry. Yeah. So you have to identify at least 2 to 3 main colors of the each bird species for identification. And the physical features will also include the distinct marks and patches on water birds, like spots, rings, eyebrows. Different marks may be shown in the flight. Like this bar-headed geese, they will have one bar spot in the head. This common moorhen will have this color type of coloration. And different type of other physical features like crest, wattle, hair bristles on the beak or the beard. This will be a key identifying characters for the birds. Now, if you look at the big size and the bill shapes, the different type of water birds will include different specialized these big patterns. Like this other water bird for this flamingo, it will have the filter type of feeder. They are the filter feeders. They will have the big pattern like this. This is the probing type of big pattern. Then aerial fishing, like the kingfishers, will have this type of big pattern. Then this long and straight type of bill shapes. And these herons will have the big shape like this. And the ducks, these are the big types of the ducks. Depending on the feeding habit, they can be differentiated in different feeding guilds. Like there will be geese will be the herbivores mainly, carnivores will be the herons, storks, ibis, and cranes, ducks, gulls, swans, they will be the omnivores. And rough curlews, sandpipers, snipes will fall under they will be the invertebrates, insect feeder. These birds can be grouped under different IUCN Red List category, like the near threatened, least concerned, near threatened, the RET species, that is the vulnerable, endangered, or the critically endangered species, or the extinct, like this pink-headed duck. So depending on the checklist, you can categorize them under these threat categories. These are the different types of groups of birds and water birds. Now we will see some common water birds. So all these birds are the ducks, like the bar-headed goose, gadwall, northern pintail, lesser whistling duck, red-crested pochard, gargany. So these are the different identifying characters or the images of these birds. Like northern pintail, they will have a bluish beak with a pointed tail and a white stripe down the neck. This gargany will have the white stripe in the supercilium. Red-crested pochard, it's having this red, pinkish beak and the red crest of over the crest. This is the bar-headed goose. It is a black and white pattern. And this is the gadwall. And the secondary, this tertiary is really white color. And these are the all storks and herons and cranes. Like the painted stork, they will have a downward yellow, down curved yellow bill with orange head with black barring on the breast, and this dark on the primaries and secondaries. This is the heron, gray heron. Open bill stork, we will have a open bill, the bill structure will be like this with a black and white coloration. This is the common crane. Moving to the shore birds, these are the different waders, like the godwits, avocids, snipes, sandpipers. These are the loons and grebes. These are the rails, like white-breasted water hen, common moorhen, coot, and swamp hen. These are the gulls and terns, like common tern, river tern. Now, identification of water birds. So the family by family, we will just see how this the different species under each family with one just example. Like this northern shoveler, they will have this chestnut flanks and this long spatulate bills and dark green head. This is the identifying character. This is like 44 to 52 centimeter duck species. Moving to the darters, this is the oriental darter, which has a long and slim head and neck. It's a dagger-like beak, and the adult breeding has a dark brown and white stripe downside the neck. Darters are different from the cormorants. This is the cattle grit. This will have the orange buff on the head, and these are the very gregarious species.